Rear foot elevated split squat is what the acronym RFESS stands for, rear foot elevated split squat. It's also known as a Bulgarian split squat. Phenomenal exercise. One of my favorites in the sense that it produces a lot of one leg strength. You really need to make sure that you just have good tempo with it. So whenever you're doing it, you're going to have the tendency every time you're going to go down, you're going to want to go down really fast, but make sure you're nice and controlled. You're also going to make sure that your hips don't come up first when you do this exercise. Once you get tired, you'll see the hips pop up first and the body stay kind of down. So that's when you know that you're maybe you grab too much weight or you need to cut your reps. You need to stop the exercise. Set a target at the bottom. It could be a little bit of a mat here, but you need to make sure that you tap your knee at the bottom each time, and you want to get to the point where that upper leg can be pretty much flat and parallel like this. So here's a front view of it. You can also do this exercise with a barbell or even a dumbbell up top here. Once you lift the weight from your sides like it is over here to up top, it's going to make the exercise significantly harder because of the fact that you've raised your center of gravity. This one's going to be a lot tougher on your core strength, whereas this one's going to be tougher on your forearm strength. But you should be able to get pretty strong at this exercise, and it's one that you really want to sort of concentrate on and get stronger, because you'll see some direct carryover from your weight room performance here to when you play on field. One arm band pull aparts, like in this example, if your left foot is forward, your right hand is going to be staying in one still spot, and that's the real challenge of this exercise, is one arm is getting some shoulder stability, in this case the right hand, while the left arm pulls back. Both elbows are locked. You want to keep your shoulders down away from your ears. When you do this, you'll have the tendency to shrug and lift those shoulders towards your ears. To make this one more difficult, either grab a stronger band or place your hands closer together. And also in between reps, there's always a little bit of tension in the band. You're not going to try to rip the band apart. It's always a nice slow pull, and you just bring your hand a little bit past your shoulder level. One arm dumbbell row, you want to get nice and wide with this one first, wide and stable. Get your foot further away from the bench, don't have it in too tight. Nice strong arm through here on the bench. You need to be really stable because you can handle a lot of weight with this particular exercise. In this case, with the dumbbell on the right hand, on the way down, you can let that right shoulder dip a little bit lower than the left shoulder, but as it comes back up, it's not going to get higher than the left shoulder. It's too much twisting. There is some slight kind of horizontal movement to it, so the dumbbell doesn't go exactly straight up and down. It's got a little bit of an angle to it. You can think about sawing some wood. And this is the exercise that gets butchered the most in the gym, and that's what I mean by this point down here. Don't be that guy. Everyone's seen someone grab too much weight on a one-arm dumbbell row, and it looks like they're starting a lawnmower. So make it strong, make it stable, but don't use too much body English to get those reps in there with this exercise. Reverse flies on a bench. We're always going to be using pretty light weights. You can also use plates that you would find for barbells, like 5s, even 2.5s and stuff like that. The real secret here that we really want to do is try to always keep like a 90-degree angle from your body to your arm. You're going to have the tendency for your arms to kind of go, as you come back up, they're not going to make that perfect 90-degree angle and make a letter T. They're going to make more like a V. You can have a little slight bend in the elbows the whole time, but wherever that joint angle is, try to keep it the same the whole time. You really want to stay bent over. You find chest close to here. You'll find if you have to do, say, 15 reps here, you start here, but by the end of it, your chest is way up here, so you want to really stay down. And even with your head, try to keep like a double chin. Don't look up. The thing that I'll try to tell a lot of athletes when doing this one is you almost want to try to, when you get to the top, is almost try to catch the weight at the top and then really slow on the way down and a complete pause at the bottom. Otherwise, we'll have the tendency to really kind of get our arms swinging too much. The goal here is, again, just to isolate these muscles that are our rear delts, as we call them, which are going to be essential for arm health. Alternating dumbbell press. This guy's maybe moving a little bit too fast for my liking, but so again, really control the weight on the way back down. But the main part is the arm that's not moving is staying nice and strong and stable. So we'll get this view here again. Elbow is staying strong. Sometimes you have to concentrate on that arm just as much as the arm that you're doing. So a nice controlled descent, negative, and a nice little pause at the bottom. Elbows can be tucked a bit more into your side, no more than 45 degrees away from your side. So in this case, using this thing here, this is a 45-degree angle from your body to make an arrow. So I want you to be here or even a little bit less. You don't want to be in this area here at all. tempo push-up. This is a normal push-up, but we're just going to go to a really slow kind of moving tempo. Ideally, it's just going to look like a moving plank. The body is perfectly straight the whole time, but we're just going to take about 3 seconds to come down, and we're going to do 3 seconds to come back up. So that means it's 6 seconds per rep, and if you're going to do 10 reps, it's going to be exactly 1 minute. A big tendency here is you really want to keep that double chin and watch out for that low back sway, but the tempo push-up is geared towards helping sort of grow certain muscles of your chest, shoulders, and triceps with that nice controlled tempo. When you're looking at it from above, in terms of your elbow placement, I want you to look more like an arrow, so that means your elbows are more tucked into your sides rather than a T where your elbows will be flared out to the sides at a 90-degree angle. Single leg hip thrust, great exercise to work on the glutes back here. Again, the muscles that sort of help push us forward, so they're used heavily in sprinting and jumping and throwing and twisting and stuff like that. So it's a great exercise to really kind of work that particular muscle group. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to put one dumbbell on the leg that's down. We always want to make sure that in terms of the spacing, we're going to be, when we get to the top, we always want to just get to the point where our knee can form a nice 90-degree angle. To get it started into this exercise, just basically have a seat right on the ground, right up against the bench. You want the bench kind of running across the middle of your shoulder blades. Make sure that you're not sitting too close to it where it's the bench will be over here, and you don't want it too high where it's up above your neck. You'll find that sort of sweet spot. But you need to be able to, when you do this exercise, is to kind of control it, have a nice little pause at the top, make sure you come all the way down, butt touches the ground each time, and then back up with this one. This one you'll feel a bit of a burn in those glute muscles because they're not used to working this way, but it's a great exercise. And when you do it, make sure that your whole foot is staying on the ground. A lot of people have the tendency to kind of get more just up on their toes, so you see their heel lift. So make sure that whole foot is in contact with the ground.